Anyway, it did. Oh, okay. My work here is not yet done. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. All right, welcome back. We're going to do a little more work on Elektra here. We're getting near the finish line. The last video, I did a pretty thorough rebuild of the main flippers, and then I ended the video. We did a little bit of gameplay, but after the video, I kind of did a little bit more stuff behind the scenes, which was refurbishing the lower flippers. What I did was remove the coil stops and sleeves, replace the coil sleeves, filed down the coil stops, and just kind of, just a little mini refurbishment, mostly just new sleeves. The one screw right here was kind of threaded in about halfway, and when I tried to screw in a new screw, because it was the wrong screw, I noticed that the other half of the screw was stuck in the thread, so I had a bit of a fun time drilling that out, but fortunately I was successfully able to do that. And you know what I just noticed? We are missing a screw right there on the flipper bracket. I thought I had tightened up the flipper brackets, but obviously I missed that, so a good thing I noticed now. So I'll tighten up the flipper brackets, but I don't think I even tested these guys since I tweaked them up, so the lower flippers now should be good to go, and then I might do the same treatment for the upper two flippers, which is just kind of clean up things and new coil sleeves, make sure I'm not missing any screws, and that kind of thing. Replace the end of stroke switches if I deem necessary. Also, oh yeah, in that gameplay video last time, I could not hit this target. I was thinking that my aim was just really, really bad. I think it's the number 5 target. Let's take a look. When I was in the lower play field here, yeah, number 5. That guy. I just thought I had really bad aim, and it might have been that. But I threw it in switch test, and the switch did work. So, I don't know, because I thought I hit it squarely multiple times, because I was even playing a little bit after I stopped recording. I was trying to kind of figure out the rules a little bit more. And I noticed that this capacitor, let's do this, had a leg broken, and this capacitor had a leg broken. Now they are not required. All they do is allow for, like, if you hit this switch really quick, the capacitor helps register it. Without it, a real quick hit on the switch might not register. So maybe that was it. Maybe I was hitting the ball just quick every time. No, that doesn't make sense, because every other switch worked. Oh, and like literally all 5 of the 6 switches I hit, no problem. But here's the other thing. See the caps on all 3 of these guys? Well, for whatever reason, there's no caps on either of these switches. So they seem to be working fine without them. I'm not going to install them unless I see a reason to, but I don't at the moment. So why was my switch not working? I do not know, but it works now. I did try and adjust it a little bit closer, and I didn't even clean it. It's working fine in switch test. So I expect that, I think, yeah, when I played a game after, it worked. So anyway, long story short, that switch now works. I don't know what else I did. Can't remember. It was a few days ago. I was gone away for the weekend. I mentioned in my last video I was playing a few pinball tournaments, 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. And this is what I came home with. A Willy Wonka camera dude. Actually, the guy that was running the tournament, Walt Morose, shout out, the third tournament, he won. And I was like, don't forget your prize. He's like, oh, I already have one. You can have this. I was like, oh, sweet. So thank you, Walt. That's cool. I'll find a good spot for that. And also, I got this from Cameron Miles, who also brought some random prizes to give away from the Topple Toronto Ontario Pinball League. So there was shirts, there was posters, there was other trinkets, and Cameron gave me this. So thank you, boys, for my souvenirs of the action. Oh, here's the old sleeves from the lower flippers. So these guys are garbage. And this is that half screw I was telling you about. The other half was in the bracket. Fortunately, I was able to drill it out successfully. And yeah, these were the screws that were in there. They're supposed to be the 1/4 inch nut driver style. Okay, so Alan Reisman, shout out. He is a guy that has helped. You see him in the Pinball Repair Help group on Facebook a lot. And he's helped me out many, many times. He's made many awesome comments on my videos lately. And what he mentioned recently, side note, is that I was looking up a pinball machine the other day, and I'm reading the fine print, and it says, Alan Reisman used to be like he used to work for Bally back in the day. So that is friggin' sweet. And he mentioned that Bally used these black screws here. They're thread cutting screws. So if with a little bit of elbow grease, all you have to do is, if you want to reverse your flipper brackets, you can just take the screws and screw them into like these two holes here. Presumably, they get stripped often. But if you switch your brackets around, you'll be using these two holes, and they are not threaded. But if you use a little bit of elbow grease and these thread cutting screws, you can just screw right into these guys. I did not know that. I thought you had to tap them out first. I'll give that a try at some point. And yeah, so some great info there from Alan, who worked at Bally. Friggin' sweet. So I'm going to just do a little bit of puttering around on Elektra. Oh, I sent out my boards too, my original CPU and my soundboard for Elektra to my board guy, Brent. And he sent me an email that the boards are done. And we can take a quick peek. I don't have the boards yet, but let's see Elektra here. This is the Elektra MPU. He replaced the U8 socket and battery, and that's it. Boom. So my CPU is now good to go. That's all it was that was the issue, apparently. So that's pretty sweet. And here is the S&T Squawk and Talk soundboard for Elektra. If you've been watching the series, you would have noticed that, or seen that, someone did replace all the caps on that soundboard at one point. So someone had serviced it, but the trimmer pots were not replaced. So he said this, he remounted C14 properly, which is interesting. I'll have to take a look at that when I get it back. Replaced R69 and R70. Okay, those are the two trimmer pots. So those are now upgraded and updated. And install window covers on some of the ROMs, the EPROMs. Because if you don't have covers on them, you can lose your data. And so my soundboard should be good to go as well. And then my tag team CPU or MPU is done. He installed the daughter board and then the Xenon soundboard stuff. So my 2 sets of soundboards should be good to go. But I'll save those details for another video. So I don't really know what is all left other than kind of tweaking up those upper flippers and doing some dialing in. So I may not have a whole lot to do here tonight, but I'm going to putter around a little bit and see what I can do. And then once I get my boards back, then that'll be kind of the grand finale. I'll get the back glass, the MPU, the soundboard, put everything together, a piece of playfield glass that's not all scratchy, and then that will be the final piece of the puzzle. In the meanwhile, I'm going to putter around, and I'll keep you posted on whatever progress I make. Did I call Miles Cameron? His name is Miles Cameron, not Cameron, Miles. Why do you have two first names? Anyway, Miles. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you for the CPR plastic. Okay, if you've been watching this series, maybe you recall that I was able to get every light bulb on this machine working except for one. So I thought it would be a good idea to address that. It was on the backboard here, and I looked up in the manual, the photo of the back glass, to see that it was the game over light. So the schematics tell me that it is connector J2, pin 11, and Q33 transistor. So I just tried to ground the transistor, and you know, this is my method here. Voila. The only problem is I kind of forget what leg it was, so I tried all three, and it didn't seem to get the bulb to work. I confirmed that the bulb was good itself by swapping it with another. So what I did was remove this connector, slid off the protector, and then I punched in the wires better into the connector using my, let's disconnect this before I short something, using my little jeweler screwdriver, and plugged it back in, and we have success. Game over light is now working. So that is going off the checklist. Where is my checklist anyway? Here we go. It's a bit of a mess right now. There's my pen. And two lower rollover lights are flaky. Rebuild the upper flippers. There it is. Bottom right back box light. Boom. That is done. So what else do we got? I don't know. I'll be back. We'll see. Okay, here's those two rollover lights that are flaky. I've been messing with these a few times and still have not been able to figure out what is going on, but once you get one working, the other one works. At least the left one. I let go. Now it's working. I touch it barely. Now they're both off. Oh, now they're back on. Oh. So, you would think that would be wiring, right? Or are they supposed to be on all the time? Or are they controlled? I think that if one feeds the other, that would make me think they're like general illumination, but I don't know. So I gotta figure out what the F is going on with this. Maybe I'll just replace both sockets. This big bundle of wires in the way. A little awkward, but... And then there's 4 wires on this socket. Actually, if you include the ground wire, there's like 3 going to that tab. Could be a little bit of a pain in the arsenal. But even just pushing this wire bundle sometimes seems to do something to them. Anyway, I'll see if I can figure out a solution to that, because every time I get it working and I put the playfield down, it stops working. So we can't have that. Okay, I found these rollovers in the schematics. It was not exactly easy, but they are on the auxiliary lamp driver. So we got left rollover button arrow lower panel. That's what it's called. And right rollover button lower panel. And then all the targets are number 1 left target arrow, number 4 right target arrow, 2, I think that's 5. Anyway, so they are controlled lamps. I just thought it was weird that when one is powered on, both of them are powered on. That's kind of the behavior of general illumination, I thought. But for whatever reason, when one works, both work, and when one doesn't, both don't. So I guess I'll try and change the socket unless I can come up with some other brilliant idea. Okay, so while working away on this, I was listening to the Poor Man's Pinball Network, and good old Orbital Albert was on there, the Pinball Nerds podcast, and he gave me a shout out to Pinball Shenanigans action. So thanks, my brother, much appreciated. That's the good news. The bad news is that I installed a new lamp socket here. I know the socket works, I know the wiring's correct, I know the bulb works, but I'm in lamp test right now. And looks like I have made good old-fashioned backwards progress once again. So I gotta figure out what the F is going on here and report back. Okay, check this out. So initially I was suspecting that these appeared to be general illumination lights, always on, because one powered the other, it seemed. When one worked, both worked. Then I looked at the schematics and thought I saw on the auxiliary lamp driver that they were controlled by their individual transistors. So that made me think that they were controlled lamps. But then when I was messing around again, I realized that when these were out, the other general illumination, here and here, and over here, were also out. So they are general illumination after all. Alright, so I'm wiggling on these wires, trying to figure out what the weak point is. And I've been messing with this for a good almost half an hour now. And then I realized, hey, there's this little auxiliary driver board here. I forget exactly what this does, but hey, let's try and reseat the connector a few times. And voila. All of my general illumination is working again. So the socket I changed unnecessarily, but you know, trial and error. Hopefully you can still see it because it kind of not exactly centered in, you know, the socket's a little bit longer so the bulb sticks out maybe a smidge more. Oh, here's another interesting thing. What the F is this bulb here for? There is not one on the other side. There's the arrow here. Okay. This bulb lights that arrow. This bulb lights that arrow. So what is this guy doing? What is its purpose? It's just a rogue bulb. I don't know what it's for. Is it supposed to be spun around and kind of light up this target? Is it a factory F-up? Who knows? Anyway, So in the grand scheme of things, reseating this connector seemed to do the trick. Which makes sense because these green and orange thick wires look like they go to it, and we got green and orange thick wires going to here. Did you guys just shut off? I hope not. Don't be doing that. But yeah, so the green and orange thick wires, voila, they go somewhere back here. Anyway, it did. Oh, okay, my work here is not yet done. Maybe I'll remove this board and see where this green wire actually goes, but definitely I can find the weak spot finally. All right, getting closer. Okay, I was messing around still, trying to figure out the weak spot, and I thought I had it, but I didn't. So it's time to, definitely when you unplug the connector, the general illumination goes out. I wiggled everywhere, couldn't find anything, so it's time to investigate the little circuit board. And here's what I found. Let's see if I can get some light over here. Hold on, some extra light. That solder around that pin is definitely not looking too promising, don't you think? Yeah, look at that. The other guys look okay. Guess we could presume that this is ground. And if that's being flaky, it kind of makes sense that it would mess with the whole general illumination circuit for the lower playfield. So I'll clean up these pins and reflow the solder, and Bob may just be our uncle. We will find out. Okay, that looks a little better, don't you think? Okay, I'm going to install this guy. I guess I need my hands for that, and we'll test it out. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. I have relative confidence, believe it or not, that is actually going to stay working this time. Wiggle. Ah, yeah, there we go. That's the first kind of time I think I've wiggled aggressively without screwing up those bulbs. So that's what it was. Okay, I learned something new about these little auxiliary lamp driver boards, of which there is another one here. I should almost reflow that. But it's interesting. Why would the solder be cracked on that? Because it's not like, well, I guess it's just time. It's 40 years old, right? A lot of the connectors that, you know, take on and off quite a bit, people tug on them, and that can be a reason for the solder to get cracked. But I guess age can be a factor too. And then this board here too, it's working fine, so I'm not going to mess with that. But now that I'm done messing with a lamp test, I can plug that back in, and I think I can successfully say I have every single friggin' light bulb on this machine working. But as soon as I say that, we're going to go take a quick peek, and we'll find something not working. Right? Here it is. Found it. Oh, wait, no, maybe that's working. Yep. I know of one. It's right there. That one GI bulb. But the other guys are working. Yeah. And in terms of inserts, they all appear to be behaving. Oh, you. Oh yeah, there you go. He wasn't in very good. Yeah, these 555 lamp sockets suck. Bally, bad idea. But at least we are finally done with messing with light bulbs. Okay, so I got the machine in attract mode. I'm not going to do a real gameplay video yet because we need sound and this doesn't have it. So what we are going to do is, I was messing around trying to figure out the rules on this game, and this is what I've figured out so far. Okay, so I'm assuming our settings to adjust this, because right now getting to multi-ball is like getting a friggin' wizard mode. This is what you have to do to get a multi-ball. You got to hit this target, number 1, and then you got to hit number 2. You can't really hit those except for maybe this flipper. I don't see how else you can hit him. Then number 3, pretty straightforward. This is kind of cool. These lights now circle around this way. So you have to hit this ramp to follow. Oh, see, it changed on me. Now you have to hit this ramp to follow the lights. So let's go around this ramp. Oh, it reversed on me. So let's go up this way. I got a few pieces of crust in there. Oh, I did it twice. So I lit 4 and 5. So it looks like you can stack those. So let's go one more time. We're going this way. Follow the lights. All 3 should be lit now. Now we got to hit these in order. I don't know if we need to hit them in order, but we do need to hit them. And voila, we have a lock lit. So let's plunge the ball up here and lock a ball. Actually, before that, let's do this. We've accumulated 12 seconds worth of Elektra time, which you play down here, and accumulated 21,000 in bonus along the way. So this is 5,000 points and 2x. So that is lit over here. And then we'll do the same. We'll light our 3x. Boom. And then now the red target's worth 25,000 and 5x. And let's hit that. I believe that gives us 10 Elektra units too. No? Our 5x is lit. Oh, now it's lit for 10 Elektra units. So let's try this. There we go. So we have 22 in the bank. We got 5x in the bank for our bonus. Still at 21,000. Let's lock our ball. Okay. Now, plunge the next ball. This, I'm guessing, says, it looks like special when lit. Oh, I missed my opportunity. It's not lit anymore. What causes that to happen? Well, last time I hit this. Oh, here we go. Watch this. We'll hit this. And our extra ball is lit. So that's how we do that. That's pretty neat rule set so far. Okay, and then if we hit these 3 targets, watch this. We open our gate. I'm going to hit those targets one more time, and watch what happens. Collect bonus. So, for fun, let's do that. 5 times 21, 100,000 points or so. Voila. Okay, now, it gets better. This is where I am hoping that there are some settings. To get the other ball locked, we need to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 targets to light them all blue. And boom, there is our lock. And commence the multi-ball. Oh, and I think these targets are what lit the spinner as well. And what's cool about the spinner is that it alternates every switch what spinner is actually lit. So let's see what a good rip is worth. Let's rip this spinner. We're at 480. 490. I think that's because it's like alternating as it's spinning, right? So if it's spinning 20 times, you're only getting credit for 10 maybe. These are lubed, so they are spinning well. Let's try this guy here. You're at 520. I'll rip it pretty good this time. 520, 30, 40, 50, 60, 40,000 on that one. That was a pretty good rip though. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what these two rollovers do yet. They don't score points, but I did check them in switch test, and for sure they work. Also, this rollover was a little bit sticky, and it turns out the lamp socket was just interfering with it, so I moved that a bit, and boom, that one's back to happy. Looks like we can get 10 more Elektra units in the out lane, but I figure there is a 30-second maximum, and that might be an adjustment as well. Looks like somehow we can get special and 10 Elektra units lit. Wonder if that's by hitting these guys a bunch of times. Target score 15,000 and 2 bonus advance. Let's see if we can get this to light. No, no, and no. So that could be a setting. Because what do you think this used to say? Special? S-P-E-C-C-I-A-L? Or is that extra B? No, it's not extra ball. So that must say special when lit. But that gives you extra ball. So special must be set to extra ball. Otherwise, that would probably light the other guys. So have I missed anything? I don't think so. Oh, well, let's drain. Because do I get to go into the lower playfield now? I haven't quite figured out. I'm just counting down my bonus here. It's quite the meltdown. Okay, yeah, look. General illumination now works down there. And see if my targets work. Bounce pass. My rollovers are lit up top, which is nice to see. Be nice to see all targets lit up. Oh yeah, so when you light all the targets up, oh, it's last chance. One-handed. You light a 2X in the middle. Oh, I can't believe I saved that. Come on, number 3. Oh, don't you think I hit that? I thought I hit that. Oh, there it is. Got my 2X lit. Maybe by completing one bank of lights. Target score 5,000 and bonus advance when lit. Or maybe my 3 light bulb was being flaky. But anyway, I got the 2X down there. So I'm guessing that's my 2X for my Elektra bonus down here. Not sure how much bonus I had there. But that is basically the rules. In terms of like tournament strategy, I wonder what would be a good one. Light the spinner and rip that. We're gonna have to do some good old-fashioned playing at some point. Is that still ball 1? Whoops. Anyway, I just wanted to mess around with the rules a little bit. Maybe I'll read some more. Maybe I'll even watch somebody else's tutorial. I try not to do that because I like kind of learning and discovering for myself. So I'm sure there are other tutorials out there that explain the rules. And maybe now that I kind of figured the most of it out, I will go watch and kind of refine my knowledge and learn what I don't know, because I don't really know what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 do exactly, other than what it says here. It's pretty straightforward. Anyway, these guys, there's probably something to that. I'm sure there's lots more to this game that, you know, maybe not lots, but a few things that I still have yet to pick up. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave us off here. I really did nothing but fix like a couple light bulbs and messed around with the rules and stuff. But that's okay. I will save all the goodness for when I get my boards and pop in the back glass. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys later.